up guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be in my kitchen and we are going to be finally working on my coffee corner. So before we jump into that project, I just wanted to give you guys a quick little mini haul of some decor items that I got for my coffee corner from Marshall's today. So the first thing that I wanted to show you guys was this little home sign. I got this to set on the top shelf, and the colors are gonna tie in perfect with my kitchen, and it also has this little cute reef for some greenery. Then I bought these 2 canisters for my coffee and then also for my sugar. I thought that they were so cute because they're already labeled, and I absolutely love the design. And it's gonna keep my coffee very fresh because they do seal tight. The only thing that I was iffy about is the bronze color of the label, but there's gotta be a way that I can darken this up so that it'll match everything a little bit better. But if that doesn't work out, I can always just turn them around to where they look solid white. It's really not a big deal, but for the price, I could not pass these up. And then I also picked up this K mug for obvious reasons. It is the initial to my name. And then I picked up another coffee mug. I got this not to drink out of, to incorporate in my decorating. So I thought, since you can see through it, it'd be really cute to take this little plant that I got from Hobby Lobby and just set it down in here. That's something different, and it'll go with the whole coffee theme. And then of course, the last thing that I got was this buffalo placemat that's underneath of here. And I just got this to set underneath my coffee pot to keep things clean. And it is reversible and washable. But that's all for my little mini haul. Now I need to go collect all of my other items that I bought to start decorating. These are the shelves that we're going to be removing, and I do have my grandmother here with me for just a little bit today. I wasn't sure exactly how these shelves were on the wall. I didn't know if they needed to be screwed off or if they needed to be beaten down. And of course they needed to be beaten down, and I didn't have a hammer on hand, so I just used my meat cleaver, which ended up working out for me. So yeah, this is me beating down the shelves and trying to get them off of the wall. Guys, these shelves were really up here. It was so hard getting them apart. And the only thing that was screwed to the wall was the trimming that went around the shelves. So here's a little fun fact for you guys. The brown color that you guys are seeing once I remove all of this was the color of my mobile home when I first moved in it. All these walls are paneling and the walls were brown. It just made everything look so dark and so small, and it literally reminded me of a dungeon. So we've really put some work into this mobile home. Can you imagine when we walked in and the walls were brown and all the kitchen cabinets were brown? I didn't even know where to begin after we bought it, to be honest. So another fun fact, the screwdriver that we had would not fit the screws that were into this wall. So we ended up just ripping them off of the wall, and then the screws pulled out with them. But hey, we got it done, and we didn't even have the tools that we needed. And luckily, we had enough paint on hand to paint this small little area. This was all left over from whenever we changed the color in our kitchen and living room and hallway. And there was just barely any paint in this. I'm not even sure why we didn't throw it away. I guess I kept it around to just touch up little spots on the wall, because when you are painting over paneling, they are really easy to be bumped up against, and then the paint chips. So it's always good to have it on hand, especially if you have the paneling like we do. And thank goodness half of the wall was painted white from where the shelf was, because painting over this brown, it takes a lot to cover up such a dark color, as to where it probably would have only taken one coat to cover up the white. That's the only reason we had enough. Okay guys, so I'm just taking a little break. I just got done with the first coat of paint. We're gonna let that dry and then we'll go over it with the second coat, and that should be all for the gray. There are a few little nail holes in the wall from where the shelves were hung that do need to be filled in, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna get everything else done and then my husband can go back and just fill them in. I think it's just like 3 holes. But I do need to get the white paint out and repaint the ceiling with a fresh coat of white, because when I removed the shelf from the top of the ceiling, underneath it was like a tint of yellow. And that is because the person who owned this mobile home before we did was a smoker. So when we first moved in here, I scrubbed these walls down for like a whole week. And it took a good 3 scrubbings just so the water in the rag wasn't yellow anymore. So yeah, we're just gonna hit that with a fresh new coat of white, and then all the painting should be done. We can go through and hang my little shelf. I do have a really big mess to pick up, so I'm gonna do that also. Just gonna give the wall like 15 to 20 more minutes to dry, and then we'll go in with the second coat. So now that all the cracks are dry, we're gonna go ahead with the roller and start filling in all the white spaces. So the reason why we go in and fill in all the cracks first is because the roller does not get those spots, since I do have paneling walls. When we painted our whole mobile home, it took forever because we had to go in with the brush and fill in all the lines from ceiling to floor. And I can already see that the wall is going to need a second coat. At this point, guys, I was kind of stressing out because it's pretty late and no place is open to get more paint. So I'm really going to have to work my magic. And then after letting the paint dry for about 15 to 20 minutes, we're now going back in with the roller and doing our final coat. So after the paint dried, I went ahead and hung up my little shelf that I got to hang over my coffee pot. And I just cannot wait to decorate it with all of my cute little decor that I've been buying. But before we can start on that, we're going to go ahead and start on the little table that I got to set my coffee pot on. As you guys can see, it's brown. It doesn't match anything, but it is very well made. It is so heavy and it is an antique. I got this from an inside flea market and I thought, let me bring this home, let me work my magic and bring this thing back to life and hopefully keep it for many years. And guys, whenever I opened up the little drawer to clean out the inside of it, it has a stamp on the wood and it says that this was made in Louisville, Kentucky, and that's where I live, that's where I'm from, so it just made me love this piece that much more. So after wiping it down, yes, I wiped it down before I started painting, I got my white paint out and we are just going to paint this a few times. I know that it's going to take more than 2 coats because it is real wood. I sanded it down pretty good. So it's just going to suck all that paint up. So I'm thinking it'll need about 3 coats of paint, just like my bar stools did. So let's go ahead and get this first coat on it. So just letting you guys know, this ended up taking so long to paint. It's just so much to paint. I tried to get in every little nook and cranny. I did take the drawers out and I painted the sides of them. I didn't have to paint the inside of the drawer because it does have some liner paper in there, which was in really good condition. But I did have to paint this 3 times, and in between each coat I had to give it at least about 35 to 45 minutes to let it dry before I could go on with the next coat. So yeah, painting this thing ran over into the nighttime and I ended up staying up until about 2:30, 3 o'clock just getting everything done, and not to mention cleaning up my kitchen. But I think in the end it was all worth it. And of course, Harmony wanted to be my little helper, so I let her paint a little bit. And then while this cabinet dried, I went ahead and started cleaning up my kitchen because it was a mess, guys. It needed to be swept so bad. And of course, the mess just ran over onto my bar and it just went all the way around. So I couldn't stand it anymore. I had to get cleaning, which I couldn't do anything else anyways. Everything was still drying. So I know it's not much, but here's a little bit of cleaning motivation for anyone who may need it. And now the moment I've been waiting for all night, I finally get to decorate my little coffee corner. So yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. Please let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about how this turned out. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.